Hey guys, Tyler Dowes here from Ty's Torque Talk. Today we're looking at the 2025. This is the Genesis GV80 Coupe. So a little bit smaller than our normal Genesis GV80 that we're all used to. A little smaller, a little more sleek, better performance. So we got an E supercharger under the hood in this guy. We're going to talk a bit more performance in a minute here though. But anyways, today we're going to do exterior, interior, talk performance, what's new for 2025. Let's get to it. All right, guys, starting up here at the front end. On Genesis's website, they say that the Genesis GV80 Coupe is the perfect blend of sporty flair and luxury. Let's see if that all adds up. To me, it reminds me of it's like a Korean Bentley. Let me know if you guys agree with that actually down in the comments. We're gonna start off here talking powertrain because it's a little bit newer for this year here, but we got our hydraulic assist going on up there. But anyways, under the hood here, we have a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 with a 48 volt electronic supercharger. We're putting out a whole 409 horsepower, 405 pound-feet of torque. And it's actually gonna get that maximum torque output of 405 pound-feet by a low range RPM of just 1,300 RPMs. Usually you gotta get it kind of up in everybody knows the 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 RPMs to get that maximum amount of torque. It's really neat that this can do this at such a low range thanks to that E supercharger. Plus we're also gonna be getting much better fuel economy with the electronic supercharger as well. I shouldn't say much better, but it definitely is better because the GV80 before with the 3.5 liter just twin turbo, we all know it's a little bit of a pig on gas. So electronic supercharger helps out a little bit with that. Guys, let's get around to talk about some exterior styling stuff now. Okay, exterior styling, start off here, right front and center, the big hood. It's kind of simple designs. You got almost like a little bit of a soft rounded arrow kind of pointing you straight forward. Nice kind of aggressive lines though here on the side of the hood there, going down to the fenders. But anyways, coming on down, I'm loving the bling here on the grill of this vehicle here. This is their smoky chrome. You're gonna notice some more smoky chrome a little bit on a couple other areas throughout the vehicle here, like on the side, which we'll point out in a second. But we got our Genesis badge right up front. We got the forward-facing camera, all this nice grille work. There's a sensor down here at the bottom to help out with the adaptive cruise control and like the kind of sort of self-driving mode type thing. Then side here, we have our two-line there, the MLA headlight design. So newer for 2025, we got a whole whack of lights actually in here, where before in the previous model years it was not even half that amount. But we got a nice LED daytime running lights, high beams headlights, no fogs down below though. But what I do like about this down here, we got a lot of functionality. There's no like fake air vents up here on the whole front end of this vehicle. This is all bringing in a ton of nice air into the engine, cooling that all down. And we got also our front park sensors, which I forgot to kind of point out. But we also have more of that nice chrome work down here lower on the bumper and kind of right underneath this lip here. I think it looks really sharp with that that smoky chrome. On the side here, we're looking at 22s are gonna be standard for this GV80 Coupe. And we're gonna get the blacked out brake calipers on this guy here as well. And we got more of that smoky gray. Like I mentioned, you'll see that a couple different areas of that vehicle. Or on the vehicle, sorry, smoky chrome, my bad. And we also have the turn signal indicators actually on the side here rather than on the mirror. I really like the way this kind of just accentuates the side. It looks really sharp. I'm quite liking that a lot. And then we got down here at our belt line, more smoky gray. Like that they made it they blacked it out there at the very bottom, can't see that quite as well, which looks nice. But then we got body color mirror caps on the front, and we got a lot of black, kind of gloss black all around. I'm glad they didn't go with any sort of cheap plastic at all whatsoever. Same thing I forgot to mention before around the wheel well liners, body color. That's my personal favorite look on a vehicle here. You also have your blind spot monitors there, and actually we'll point it out when we actually get inside the vehicle. You actually have a camera right here that points out the side. So not only does this have a 360-degree camera, those are signal light. When you turn on your signal lights left or right, there's cameras that'll point out both sides and it'll actually show you an image camera feed view of your blind spot, which is actually really neat. Just with the coupe version, there's a little bit more of a blind spot here than you'll see in the GV80, just because the GV80 roof line goes off a lot higher, where this slopes down to give it that bit more of a sporty look. So this back window here is a little bit smaller. But honestly, the visibility inside, it actually works out to be pretty darn good in the end. I'll talk more about that when we get inside. This thing's gonna be running on 265 wide Michelin tires there. But I really like the lines that they have throughout this vehicle. It's not crazy over the top. It's kind of more subtle, sporty, sharp looking kind of approach, which I really like. It's not crazy in your face. And you got more of that dark smoky chrome on the top of your door handles here actually as well too. But if we come on around the back a little bit more, when it comes to suspension, it has an electronically controlled suspension. It's going to use the forward facing camera that I pointed out there to read the road conditions on the roads in front of you, and it'll actually adjust the suspension depending on what's up ahead. If it's very bumpy, if it's nice and smooth, even for different weather conditions, if it's snowing outside, gravel roads, things like that, it'll change up, because it also has a limited slip differential, so it'll help send power more equally to tires through the left and right side, whatever has most kind of grip throughout it. This is what I really like about the GV80 Coupe though, is our back end. You get that nice sloping, sporty looking roof line. You got a little bit of a spoiler right here. It also has the brake lighting that goes right across it there. Nice LED backlights, and I like that they did the kind of the two lines, so there's kind of like a sense of symmetry between the backlights and the headlights. They look a little similar but unique in their own way, but they definitely are Genesis. It's very unique to their brand. We got our big Genesis badge there across the front, GV80. I wish, it'd be kind of neat if they put like a little coupe badge or something right below that, but I like it. It's nice and clean. I think they did a really good job with the styling here. And we got our four-wheel drive 3.5, should be TT almost on the end, twin turbo. But looks really, really good. But then working on down a little bit more, we got some fake fence though. I kind of wish they'd get rid of those. It looks neat, but it's just, I don't like the fakeness. They have it there. They also got more here on the side as well too, fake. But what isn't fake though, we got quad tipped exhaust pipes here. So on the previous ones, yeah, you were just dual. And on like the GV80, some of the more luxurious type trims, like the Prestige one, I thought should be underneath the vehicle. I like when they're exposed, gives it more of a sporty, aggressive type look to it. But anyways, let's pop the trunk on this guy, talk cargo capacity, see how much room you're gonna be getting in the coupe version of this GV80. Today we're filming at Genesis, South Edmonton. If you're in the area, need a new ride, come see Abby. I'll leave his contact information down below there. Give him a call. He's a great guy. He'll give you a great deal. Okay, right before we pop open this trunk here, have a look at the key fob. Loving what Genesis actually did with this fob here. A lot of automotive manufacturers, they don't really put a lot of time and effort into the fobs. Genesis made it look really nice. Basically, you can obviously do like remote start, lock, unlock, open up the trunk lid, all that sort of stuff. But you can actually pull a vehicle in and out of its parking spot. And the way that you do it, you just hold the remote start like I just did, and you can pull it forwards or backwards, just as long as you're kind of standing near the vehicle. And this will actually work on a parallel parked spot as well too. So if I hold down the button here and say it's way too tight for me to actually get into the door without door dinging the guy next to me, and I don't want to scuff up my beautiful GV80 Coupe's doors there, you can back it out and then hop in. There's, I'll pop it back into its spot here, and then we'll pop open the trunk here. We'll talk about cargo capacity and everything. Get this back. Okay. And now, hold the trunk button. This guy will pop on up, and have a look at the inside here. So even with it being the coupe version that get that sloped roof, you actually still do have a good amount of storage. You do lose a little bit. You lose about 22 cubic feet. We'll get into the numbers in just a second. Or sorry, cubic feet. I did say that right. But anyways, you get a handful of like tie down points on like either side of the vehicle there. You're gonna get extra storage underneath you get your battery, tire repair kit. You can, weasel some things in and around there. Over on the side here, you got your 12-volt plug. And then you have your buttons to fold down your rear seats. So I'll just close or open up or fold down, the left-hand side there. So anyways, while that's going down, we'll get into the numbers here. So anyways, in this coupe with the seats, those rear seats folded up, cargo capacity is 30.3 cubic feet. With the seats folded down like the left side is right now, you're gonna be 62.1 cubic feet. And then just as a comparison, in the normal full-size GV80, you're gonna be 84 cubic feet with those seats fold down. So like I said, you're losing about 22 cubic feet going down to the coupe. But then you bump up the power, and this thing's more fun, and it looks cool. So it's not all bad. But anyways, another thing I also wanted to point out is how quiet they make a lot of the things in the vehicle. Like say, for the sound of like the seats folding up and down. When you're actually even inside the vehicle, usually you get like a little hum from like motors for most manufacturers. It is dead silent. Same thing with like the trunk lid opening and closing. You're moving your seats around. It's so quiet. They did an excellent job of the soundproofing technology in this Genesis. I'm very impressed. But anyways, that's enough about the trunk stuff. Let's hop on in the front seat there, see how cozy it is up front in your GV80 Coupe. Okay guys, here we are in the inside of the GV80 Coupe. Let's start with the passenger hand side. Have a look at the doors. So this is going to be the vanilla beige, smoky green, two-tone interior color. You get 3 color choices with this guy. I really like this one a lot here. You can see you got that vanilla beige, right in the middle above that door bin there. But it's at the very top there. I'm loving the green actually. I didn't think I'd like it when I saw it written on paper, but it looks really good. And you got your orange stitch work also in there, which matches something else in the interior of the vehicle, which we'll show you in just a minute here. Then you're also gonna get that glossy kind of carbon fiber sort of styling right next to your aluminum door handles there. You got your Bang & Olufsen sound system, 18 speaker in this guy, and right to the right of that you got memory seating for 2 people on the passenger hand side. And also your window control buttons are going to be fully aluminum in this guy as well too. And then as you work all the way on down, like I said, it's all leather except for the door bin. The door bin's actually still a soft touch plastic. Normally it's that scratchy, cheap crap that they put inside. They actually made it feel really nice and soft all the way down to the very bottom of the door. So I'm really happy that Genesis did that. But anyways, come on, work your way inside here. Have a look at these seats, these vanilla beige seats. We got a 16-way power adjustable seat, and then it's also got massage seating. The Genesis GV80 Coupe has massage seating for the passenger. If you just go with the normal GV80, it's actually only for the driver. I thought that was really weird. But have a look at these seats. These are phenomenal seats. You got that orange piping, orange stitching. We got it's a Napa leather package here. And like I mentioned, that stitch work matches something. I love in these orange seat belts. They really make it feel more sporty and cool. But anyways, with these seats, the bolstering on them feel amazing. They hug you in place so well. Like the first thing I thought about when I sat inside this vehicle is I want to take this thing on a track and do some tight corners, because you're not going anywhere inside of these seats. But anyways, kind of working way more up in here, we're gonna look at our storage capacity in our center console. So as you know, we fit baseballs in them. So in this guy, we only get 5 baseballs. The thing with this center console here, it is super shallow. And there's actually no charge ports or anything like that inside of here. We have another cubby that has charge ports. See, even these barely fit. These are actually soft or baseballs. If these were hard ones, I'd only be able to fit the 4. So cheated on that one there. But it looks good. Nice soft padded, nice stitch work. It feels really good. It's very ergonomically kind of position here. You can kind of rest your hand nicely there. It feels really good. But anyways, moving on up here, I like that they didn't go gloss black up in this whole section. They kind of did that glossy sort of carbon fiber look here. It looks really good. It matches everything very well. You have your drive mode and terrain selector here, which we'll show you the animations for when we come over to the driver hand side of the vehicle. But you got your pesky engine on and off button. We'll turn that off. That's my first thing I always do. We got a camera mode button, which I'll actually click that. If you look on up here at our 27-inch full infotainment and driver screen setup. We got our 360-degree cameras right up there. Backup camera, but you can kind of switch these all around to like your door, the driver door is open, so it's kind of messing that one around a little bit. For your backup camera, you get that whole 360 look. You can actually swipe your finger around. It's really neat. But super high quality, crisp animations for the camera there. It looks amazing. And then we come here, we got our drive mode select, so your transmission dial there. So you gotta put your foot on the brake, obviously, and you go right to drive, left to reverse, press for park. But I like that kind of crystal sort of look. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the GV60, how they have that glass sphere that flips around here. It's kind of neat that they kind of match each other a little bit there. But anyways, working on up here, this is something that you only find in a couple models in the in the Genesis lineup. This is a fingerprint reader. So what the Genesis is now doing here, you can actually put your key fob in your smartwatch, cell phone, and then you can start the vehicle actually with your fingerprint. So if I don't have my fob on me, I just touch my cell phone to the door or my smartwatch to the door. It lets me inside. You can put, if you don't have fingerprint setup, you can just put your phone on the wireless charge pad right in here, and then you can start the vehicle up. Or you can use your fingerprint and start it up from there. And anyways, then you have this little dial here with that nice kind of crystal sort of work around it. This is going to be controlling your 27-inch infotainment screen display there, which we're still working our way up here. Let's talk about this little cubby. Nicely damped opening there. Wireless charging down there at the very bottom. You got a couple USB-A's and you got a 12 volt on the far right end there. We'll close this guy up. Come up a little bit more. Climate control section. One thing I hate about this, it's all touch screen. It is haptic feedback, so you do get that little kind of vibration in it. Actually two levels for the heated steering wheel, which is neat. Usually you only get one setting for that. But I don't like, I like buttons. I don't like touchscreen for climate control. It's just awkward when you're driving and you gotta actually really look at it, unless you know it super well and you can kind of find it without having to glance over. But I'm not a big fan. But anyways, you got your ventilated seats, heated seats. I like that you got climate control dials, actual physical dials for that. And then you got your volume control, tune control, and everything. And then these are just a whole whack of buttons that are gonna be controlling stuff on up here. So anyways, let me show you around a couple things up on the screen. So you can click the buttons straight on the actual touch screen, or you can use the spinny knob there at the bottom. But you can actually make the whole entire dash here one gigantic map, if you so please. I can go back to home. A couple neat features this has. I'm not going to go through everything, obviously, but if we go setup, vehicle, and we scroll on down to seat, smart posture care. I thought that this one was really, really interesting. So I'm going to mess up my seating position big time, screw up my posture. Obviously, I'm not driving like this, but let's go to smart posture care, enter driver's information. So I'm 5'11" and a half. I'm just going to put 5'10", 5'11", and your inseam 31 to 33 will do, and I'm about 180 pounds, so we'll go 176 to 197. Oops. And we'll go down, posture analysis, or oops, and then adjust posture. So if I click that, have a look at this. It pushes the seat back. It'll actually move the steering wheel around. I should have messed with the steering wheel as well too, but it'll move that around. But this is my correct smart posture seating position. And then you have a little bit of place. If you actually look at the screen, you can tilt your seat. It tells you can tilt your seat a little bit forward, whatnot. I keep moving it around, and it, like there, I'm back in the green zone now. If I go back too far, it's going to tell me, oh, you're too far leaning back. It's not good for your posture, blah, blah, blah. So really good for if you have a kind of athletic build, you want to, you're taking care of the body and everything like that. Take care of the spine, everything there. But honestly, this screen, I'm not going to dive into absolutely everything. It's extremely responsive. It's an OLED screen actually as well too. So it does really well when you have light pouring in from the sunroof. It's super bright and looks amazing, and it's very intuitive. The actual refresh rates and everything like that with it is fantastic. But anyways, we'll keep on working on up here. Actually, dash, all leather dash. You got heads up display as well too, which I'll show you briefly when we get over to the driver hand side. And then we have our digital rear view mirror there. You can zoom in and out on it. And we have all the controls for our panoramic sunroof up here. The one thing with this panel sunroof, it's not super large. I wish it would go back like another 6, 7, 8 inches or so. I get it because the coupe, the sloping roof line, you can't push the sunroof all the way back. I understand why, it just kind of sucks. But then the problem is, if you go all the way up to the GV80, you get a big bar in the middle. You get the two sunroofs, but you got a big bar in the middle. I'm a guy, I like panoramic sunroofs. I just wish this one was a bit bigger. And I wish in the GV80 full size, they just do a full panel sunroof. But in their prestige trim, they have their mirrors for their rear seating passengers and blah, blah, blah. Doesn't work for me personally. But anyways, and it's nice and dark tinted actually as well too, so it hides out a lot of that light. But this one is a split open, so you can actually open it all the way up. All interior cabin lighting is all LED. You have a nice suede kind of feeling headliner here. But anyways, that's about it for passenger hand side. Why don't you come on over to the driver's seat? Let me show you the gauge cluster, steering wheel setup, and the driver's seat of the GV80 Coupe. Okay, driver's side time. So starting off the door here, I'm not going to get in it too much just because it's very similar to the passenger hand side. You just get a lot more buttons in here for all 4 windows and your mirror controls as well too. And it's all nice aluminum, so it feels nice and premium. And door bins, same as the passenger hand side. I didn't really talk about how small they are though. Very narrow, and your water bottle is diagonal if you can even fit a water bottle in there. So if you can get one in there, make sure the lid's on tight, because if it's not, it's gonna be spilling everywhere. Memory seating for 2 people. And then we have our 16-way power adjustable seats and the massage setting as well there for the driver as well too. Let's hop on inside. We'll start off with the massage seat button. So when you click it, you can go pelvis, waist, whole body, and you can hit settings. You can choose the duration of time it goes for and the intensity. And what I will say about massage seats in vehicles, I'm not a huge fan of them. It's kind of cool that it does it and blah blah blah, but none of them are actually like really good massaging seats. They don't really get in there, and like if you had a hard day at work, it doesn't, you know, loosen you up a whole lot. It's nice for super long car rides, I guess. If you're going on a nice long road trip, it makes you a little bit more comfortable, but it doesn't do a whole lot. It's just like you're being poked in different areas and whatnot. But anyway, and that's with it on the highest intensity as well too. But anyways, one thing that I do like though is this steering wheel here. New for 2025. I did not like the old model steering wheel on a handful of the Genesis vehicles, if I'm being completely honest. Very bulky in the midsection. I don't know, it wasn't my cup of tea personally. A lot of people will disagree with me. Just giving you my honest opinion. But this looks fantastic. We got our smoky green, our vanilla beige, our orange stitched work all the way through, flat bottom there. Kind of nice plastic work. It looks metal. But we got metal paddle shifters, bit of gloss back, the Genesis logo. It looks really good and it feels sporty. It feels luxurious. It's all leather. It's really a really nice steering wheel. Nothing bad to say about it at all. But anyways, left-hand side, all your controls for kind of cruise control related stuff. So it'll be it has kind of like an autonomous sort of driving mode for your highway driving. It'll actually use the navigation system to read the speed zones that it's currently in, and if you go into different speed zones, it'll actually change the speed of your vehicle for you. Usually you have to rely on adaptive cruise control and it just holding you behind the vehicle in front of you. This will actually just automatically change the speed of your vehicle. And it'll also change lanes to go around people that are going far too slow, things like that. So you got a lot of customability in with the cruise control kind of system there. Then this little dial here, you can change up the information screens on the display here. So when you're on this screen, it's kind of neat because it'll show images of all the vehicles all around you. And if you can see the heads up display, it'll actually do the same thing on there. I'm just in a parking lot. If I was actually out on the road in motion, it would show all the vehicles around you. But I like that it does that on the heads up display. And the heads up display, by the way, high resolution, super bright. If it's broad daylight, earlier when we were filming, now it's raining and ugly, but when it's super bright outside, you have no problem seeing it as well too, which is fantastic. No, right hand side here on the steering wheel could be a lot of the media controls. I like that it's an actual dial here for the volume control, but then this is actually a custom button, so if you click that, it'll bring you to this page. You can select what you want that button to do. And then also soundproofing inside this guy is fantastic. So if you actually look here, we have dual pane windows, we have acoustic glass for the front windshield there, acoustic glass for the panel sunroof there. But what I will say is it's so quiet in here. They actually use the microphones in the vehicle to detect sound, road noise from coming in from the exterior, and they actually will use reverse phase sound waves to somehow make the interior quieter. How that works, I have no idea, but if I say it right and confidently, it makes you guys think that I actually know what I'm talking about there. But what I can tell you for sure is it works. It's so quiet in here. When you're driving around, when I'm sitting in a parking lot, we're actually on a pretty busy road right now, and it's dead silent inside of this thing. Even when you get it up to speeds, when I got this thing up to 100 kilometers an hour, it's dead silent. It's very impressive. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, if I'm being completely honest. Anyways, back to this screen here. I like one thing is if you go full map view, toggle on down, you can actually make the entire page one gigantic massive map. If you also use your signal lights here, you get the blind spot cameras on either side. Then obviously you have your blind spot monitor as well too there. And then we got our drive mode select here as well too. So when you just spin it around, you can go from Eco, Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, and My mode, which will be your own custom mode. And if you click on it, you can go snow, mud, and sand. But anyways, back here, Sport Plus mode, interesting one because it'll turn off your traction control, put your transmission in the most aggressive manner that it can be in. Same thing with your suspension. It'll tighten up like your steering wheel, even the brake pedal as well too, will make it a little bit more responsive. It does a whole lot. Like usually a lot of other vehicles, it'll just hold the RPMs up a little bit more. This does a lot. It changes up the vehicle all around. One other neat button I forgot to mention beforehand is this little guy here, the fragrance button. So when you click that, you actually have in the glove box there, you probably can't see it, but it'll actually has 4 different scents depending on your mood that it'll pump through your air conditioning system to give the vehicle a nice premium smell. So anyways, that's about it for the front seat here of the Genesis GV80 Coupe. Let's get on in the back seat, see how comfortable those rear seating passengers are going to be with that sloping roof line. Okay, we're in the back seat of the GV80 Coupe. So have a look at the doors. They're pretty much the exact same as the whole front of the vehicle. So we have all leather up here, and then we have that kind of soft touch plastic down there at the very bottom, and these really small and dinky door bins there to cut the size in half for the back seat passengers. But you do get sunshades for those back passengers, and something I forgot to mention when we were actually up in the front of the vehicle, this has soft door close. So keep an eye on that crack right there. Really nice and premium feeling. But anyhow, coming on in a bit more now, we got our Genesis sill plate there, and we got power adjustable seats for your rear passengers. So if you click this button, it folds the whole thing down so you can load more stuff in the trunk there. But then you actually can recline this front seat, and it goes way back. So if you're doing like a nice long, traveling around the country, whatever, this is good for long car rides. And then you can actually adjust even like the thigh support, the height of it. You can move it forwards, backwards, all that. But anyways, I have this front seat here set up exactly how I'd be sitting. I'm 6 feet tall. I got plenty of knee room. The one thing that it's lacking a little bit is the actual headroom. So if you look on up here, like I'm wearing my hat and I'm like brushing all around. So I kind of have to like slope, like kind of almost like hunch over a little bit. And then also like it's so low right here. So when I'm getting out, I got to duck down and then come out. But anyways, kind of come on in, have a look. They look the exact same as those front seats do, which is fantastic because they look amazing in my opinion. And I'm loving these seat belts here, but super soft, plush, very comfortable. You got this armrest here, and it's nice and padded, very comfortable, and you even get a little, about the same size as the center console. Actually, in the front seat, probably fit 4 or 5 baseballs in there like I showed before, but 2 good sized cup holders there as well too. The back seat is very comfortable. It doesn't have as insane aggressive bolstering as those front seats do. And then one feature that this has that I'm glad they don't have it on the driver's seat, but right here, you can actually adjust from anywhere in the car your passenger front seat. So if I want more leg room or doing a nice long cruise kind of thing, I can shoot that thing way far forward, stretch all the way out. Super comfortable, really neat, kind of convenient that they actually have that there. But anyways, come on in here, have a look at this stuff. So we got charging stuff down the bottom here, a couple of USB-A's, and then we got our three plug home power source. And then we have the tri-zone climate control, so you can control all your climate here in the back. I don't like, again, I wish it was physical buttons, but it's not. We also have heated and cooled seats, 3 stages for both. And then, airplanes kind of style rear door storage bins. But anyways, that's about it for the back seat. I'll see you back outside the vehicle now. All right, guys, that has been the 2025 Genesis GV80 Coupe. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Really appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments section what you think of this GV80 Coupe. Does it stack up? How does it stack up, against its German rivals, the Mercedes-Benz's, BMWs out there? Do you like this more, like it less, somewhere in the middle? Let me know down in the comments. I'm curious to see what you all say. But anyways, if you're not a subscriber on the channel already, hit that like, comment, subscribe, share, all of it buttons down below there. If you are a subscriber, thanks for sticking around, supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one.